Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's boardzy, and as you know, we are in the midst of a historic mouse drought. But I am here to give you guys some more hopium with news of new releases coming from Razer. There are two new mice, basically confirmed. Both the Viper Mini Wireless, which has obviously been up in the air for years now, and I do actually have a theory about this. So this video is about to become all sorts of amazing. And also the Deathadder V3 Pro, which is just an updated version of the Deathadder shape, presumably with the same specs as the Viper V2 Pro. I'll get into the shape changes later, but really the Viper Mini Wireless. This is the big one because, I mean, so many people have been asking for it. Apparently, according to Razer, it's like more popular in these like niche mouse communities than it is globally across the board, which is why they haven't really prioritized it in the same way they do the Viper. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. I had to change my shirt. I don't know if you saw it on the camera, but the pit stains were bad. Came back from the gym and recorded in the same shirt. That's a YouTube tip. Do not do that. But yeah, now we got the proper attire to break down these upcoming mice. And yeah, this is Razer, right? This is the same rep that actually commented on my Viper V2 Pro review saying, heard you on the Viper Mini Pro. So this is the Razer Viper Mini guy, essentially. So you can trust this source. And the first thing is a wireless Viper Mini coming? Yes. When will it be available? Hoping by this fall. They say that's not a guarantee because of supply chain issues, but even if it's before 2023, I would say that's pretty good considering how long we have been waiting and how like good they are hyping it up to be. Like I said earlier, I have a theory, and this is where we get into it. So they're saying, why did it take so long? There are a few things that play into it. Mainly, they didn't want to do budget. So they didn't want to release like a wireless version with a 3335. Then they say they're going all out on the project to deliver something that is worth the wait with no trade-offs on performance. I can almost guarantee that this mouse will not be made out of plastic. I do remember back in 2021 on Reddit, Razer made a post talking about how they were still like working with different materials, and I'm pretty sure that they were alluding to the future Viper Mini Wireless. Like back then, I don't have that post though, but I'm sure some people will remember it. And they even say more stuff like they want to make a mouse that is worthy of the demand they've seen from this community. And obviously these niche mouse communities, Final Mouse is kind of like the standard for the premium small lightweight mouse, so maybe they're trying to come at Final Mouse as well. You're seeing like this, my theory definitely makes a lot of sense. So what I'm personally expecting from whatever the Viper Mini Wireless, Viper Mini Pro, whatever it's going to be called, is a sub 50 gram version of the Viper Mini shape made out of some material that is not plastic. I don't know if it could be carbon fiber. I've heard it's like too hard to mass produce, whether it's some type of alloy, maybe magnesium alloy, but I don't know if they would do that. I honestly have no idea, but as long as it's below 50 grams, structurally sound, I think that would be a mouse worthy of the demand. The years, was it 3 years or is it 2 years since the Viper Mini released? I don't know. It's been a long time though, and people want a wireless version, so it's nice to see that it is coming 100%. And that's really all I have to say about the Viper Mini Wireless confirmation. I think it's pretty cool that Razer is admitting that it's not like one of their best-selling mice, even though like it does show up as one of the best-selling mice on Amazon. So I don't really get that, but maybe it's just like an overall sales of dollars. But whatever. It seems like a smaller community-driven project. Not community-driven, but like community-minded project. And if it is actually made out of a different material, that could be really cool if it's like an always-in-stock item. But that's all I got to say for that. But now we also have the the Deathadder V3 Pro. In the Viper Mini Wireless post, they did mention that they're working on multiple projects, for example, shape changes on products. And I do think they're talking about the leaked Deathadder V3 Pro here. You can see the shape. They kind of like de-Deathadder-ified it, if that makes sense. The profile, just off the eye test, it looks a bit more like the Zowie EC, a bit more like balanced out than the Deathadder was. They removed the flares from the front, which is crazy. Like that's what makes it the Deathadder shape. But opting for what seems like pretty flat sides, that could be really interesting. Just way different from the original shape. And this ergo tilt. So I'm not sure if that's going to make it feel more like the G703 or something with the tilt to the left. But that could be interesting. This seems like a pretty like different shape, but obviously keeping the like inspiration from the Deathadder. I would presume this just uses the same specs as the Viper V2 Pro. I'm not sure if I said that already, but they already have the Deathadder V2 Pro. So now is this going to be the Deathadder V3 Pro? They also do mention that it's going to have a higher hump and higher button, so it's going to feel like a different shape, presumably bigger in hand. And I mean, I'm just interested to try it out. You know, new mice, we're not getting many of those, so even if there's just a concept that seems cool, it's something to hang on to. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Like I said, no timetable attached to this, so I can't go into too much detail. I also wonder if they're going to go the extreme lightweight route with this. I personally do think they will, and I feel like they could go 60 grams or under potentially. Actually, I don't know, because that's as light as the Viper V2 Pro. Maybe under 70 should be the goal. Still like very good structural integrity, but it is very interesting to see them change up the Deathadder shape after like fucking 30 iterations of this mouse with the same shape. So this has to be good if they're actually changing it. But yeah, make sure to let me know what you think about these in the comments below. I'm personally excited for both, obviously the Viper Mini wireless more, just because I do think that is a mouse that they're going to be pretty experimental with, which is just not something you often see from huge companies. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, especially subscribe. Like, who else is doing these mouse videos, man? Nobody. I'm keeping you guys in tune with the Reddit news. But yeah, that's going to be all. Peace.